Hey everybody, welcome back to BigRedEDC. I thought I'd do another Ask JB segment. The first one I did went over really well. Had some really good questions, and I said in the comments, leave me a question down in the comments if you want to know more, ask questions. And you know what? I had quite a few more questions, so I figured why not do another one? Before I get into that though, I just want to let you know. My good buddy Ohio Blade and Cutlery, he's got a pretty cool giveaway going on right now. I just saw the video for it. Head on over and check him out. He's got some pretty cool prize packages. It's a little different. Normally people do like a 500 subscriber, 800, whatever the case might be. This one's a little different. It's kind of cool. It's neat. So head on over to Ohio Blade and Cutlery. I'll leave a link down in the description. Go check him out if you don't know who he is, and get in on his giveaway. It's pretty cool. So let's answer some questions. It's all right. Let's see what do we got here. First one comes from my good buddy Amos, OC Omega Shadow. He says, "How many case knives do you have in your collection, and what's your favorite case model?" My favorite case model, it has to be the Sodbuster Junior. That's an awesome little knife. I love the Sodbuster pattern. It's just a fantastic, and I believe it's in the one I have is in the I believe it's amber jig bone. Gorgeous scales on it. Came from my good buddy Larry. It was a gift from him. Just a gorgeous knife. That's probably my favorite one. And how many do I have? I think at last count, I had not a lot, but I believe I had 11, so not quite a dozen case knives in my collection. But thank you very much, Amos. And Amos asked me quite a few questions, so we're going to be answering quite a few of his today. My good buddy Sean from Gear Toward Gear, what sorts of things do you carry in your EDC bag? Excellent question. My EDC bag, what do I normally have in there? Well, obviously, I have a backup knife, a first aid kit. It's not an overly extensive first aid kit at this point. I have a bigger one in my truck, but in my EDC bag, it's pretty much it's not a trauma kit, but it's a fairly, not extensive isn't the word I said, but it's a fairly well-packed first aid kit. Have a couple of, like the buffs, the sleeve masks. I carry a couple of them in there. Also, I always have a couple of bandanas in there. I have like Tylenol, ibuprofen, that type of stuff. I have a deck of cards in there. I have a headband with a light on it, a headlamp. That's in there. I have a monocular in there, actually, for checking stuff out. I threw that in there on a trip one time, and I've just never taken it out. I've got all sorts of hand sanitizing wipes, baby wipes. I've got these really cool they're like little compact towels. They come in little pills, and if you get them wet, they come apart, and they actually form a towel that's, I don't know, it's a decent sized little hand towel like. Those are pretty cool. Got a bunch of those in there. What else is in there? It changes out from time to time. I have a couple of the emergency rain ponchos. Always keep a couple of them in there. And then just depending on the situation that I'll be having in my bag, if we're going to go for a hike or something like that, like a day pack, I'll throw other stuff in there. But that's generally the basis of what I have in my EDC bag. So thank you, Sean. Ooh, the sun's coming out. It's actually a gorgeous, really gorgeous October afternoon here in the Pacific Northwest. Very nice day. Lots of sunshine. Very cool. Lucum Jones. When you go bass fishing. Oh yeah, fishing question. Right on. What do you prefer, morning bite or afternoon bite? To be perfectly honest with you, I love the early morning and that evening, say half hour before dusk. Those are probably two of my favorite times to fish. The fish just seem to be more active. A lot of times during those periods, they're really active on topwater lures, And I don't, if you don't fish, I know that probably doesn't make a whole lot of, when I say top water, you might not know, but they're lures that stay on the top of the water and flutter across. That is so much fun because the bass come out of the water and absolutely smash those things. Oh my goodness, so much fun like that. Yeah, sorry if there's an odd glare, guys. It's just the time of day. But thank you very much, Luca. That is the morning and the evening, my two favorite times to fish. Let's see, Timbo437 asks, how many fixed blades do you have? And are there any of them biggins? Well, no, there's not really any biggins, so to speak. There again, I don't have a lot of fixed blades in my collection. Honestly, oh, let's see, I can probably count them all right now. I think I have 7 or 8 maybe that are, what I would consider. I have a couple of the like, the Bud K type fixed blades that I've gotten in their boxes. I have a few of those. I don't count those guys, honestly. I put those in the garage. I've actually got a couple of them stashed out here in the yard for when I'm out working in the yard, digging in the dirt and all that type of stuff. But really, actually, I think I have about 7 real, actual fixed blades that I would carry and use, purposefully. We'll put it that way. Carry on my body and purposefully use that way. So let's see, Mark Grant Jr., what got you into YouTube and how does it feel to be a dad who's accomplished a lot in life? Wow. I don't know about, that's a tough question. I don't know as if I have accomplished a lot in life. I mean, yeah, I've been around the block a time or two, don't get me wrong. But, I mean, my son got me into YouTube and my love for knives and just wanting to just talk about knives. I mean, that's really what got me into it. I watched several YouTubers and just being able to talk to people about knives, interact with people about knives, even if it's, just through the message. You don't really, on the lives, I get a little bit more direct contact, which that's pretty cool. But a dad who's accomplished a lot in life. Well, I tell you what, I did 20 years in the military. I'm very proud about that, without a doubt. This year will mark 30 years of marriage. I'm very proud about that. And I have 2 awesome sons, so I'm very proud about that. So I hope that answers your question, Mark. Let's see, Birdman Duncan asks, how are you working for the government? I knew that you're a rigger, but I didn't know it was government related. Yeah, I work at a Navy base. And I'm a crane rigger. I rig loads to go on and off the submarines. I work for the Department of the Navy. That's how I'm working for the government. I retired from active duty, and I didn't get very far. I went down the road. That was it. And changed uniform, and got to grow this. Much better. Thanks, Birdman. I appreciate it. Stuart, okay. Why did you leave the U.S. Navy? And how could you possibly prefer a Mosin over an SMLE? Now, that's a Stuart question right there. All right. Why did I leave the U.S. Navy? Well, 20 years of service. I retired after 20 years of service. I was eligible for retirement. I chose to retire. It was time to do something different, for sure. Wouldn't change anything about that at all. As I said before, I'm very proud of my military service. And how could I possibly prefer a Mosin Nagant over an SMLE? Well, there's one easy question, there's an easy answer to that question. I own a Mosin Nagant. I've shot a Mosin Nagant many, many times. Never shot an SMLE. So that's a pretty easy answer. Now, given the opportunity, who knows what might happen. But that's the reason why, Stuart. So thank you very much for your question. Pork fat. What is your favorite steel? Oh, we like that one. And I'm still learning about steels. There are so many. Yeah, there are quite a few. And there's a whole lot of testing and you know, cut testing and heat treating and all that other stuff going on right now. So, but I have my favorite steel. I do love VG10 and I do love 14C28N. They seem fairly easy to sharpen for me. They take fantastic edges, and they seem to hold their edge fairly well, you know, for a decent amount of time. So, yeah, those are probably my two favorite. Now, do I have anything against D2 or 8CR or 440? Not a bit. Not a bit. If it's a knife, if it sharpens, if it cuts. But I do like VG10 and 14C28N. Those just happen to kind of be my favorite. The favorite steels that, I don't know, they don't seem to work for me. They're pretty easy to sharpen and they keep an edge for me. That's kind of where I kind of lean towards them. So, thank you, Pork Fat. Eddie York asked, what made you stay in the Pacific Northwest when you retired? Well, I kind of answered that. The job. 20 years in the Navy. Somebody actually thought they could use my experience. And, well, there we go. That's kind of why I stayed here. So, yeah, I didn't go very far. Like I said, we bought this house right as I retired from the Navy. And it's been 10 years. Yep, 10 years this year. So that's why we stayed. And plus, we don't get a whole lot of snow here, and it doesn't get very hot in the wintertime. So weather-wise, it does rain a lot during the winter. So that's kind of a, you know, it can be rainy and gray and stuff here during the wintertime, but no snow for the most part. Actually, this spring in February, we actually had 15 inches of snow at one time. That's like unheard of here for the most part. I think about every 10 years we get a good snow like that. The 2 previous years, I don't believe we had any snow at all. So that's pretty much why we stayed. Thanks, Eddie. Okay, more questions from Amos here. What are your 6 favorite knife brands and models? Wow. Okay. Well, how about we just talk about some of my favorite. We will talk about some of my favorite knife brands. As far as traditional goes, I mean, Case and GEC, they make some great knives. But I tell you what, Rough Rider knives, the value, that is an incredible value knife. Rough Rider knives, yeah, some of them might have, you know, their little issues. I haven't had one with what I would call a glaringly bad issue. But the value for what you get, I mean, man, you can get a Rough Rider knife for anywhere between like $8 and $15. And most of the time, in my experience, I will say I'd say probably at least 90% of the Rough Riders I've seen, and I've seen quite a few, have all been really well done for what they cost. So Rough Riders would definitely have to be a good traditional brand. Sorry guys, I'm getting a lot of shadow here now. Excuse me. Let's see. Favorite knife brands. I tell you what, I'm doing some reviews right now. Try not to leave so much of a shadow on my face. That sun feels good. Feels really good. You know what? The new CJRB knives are really, really well done. Well done budget knives from Artisan. You know, Artisan's new budget line. Wow, you know, I have a couple of them here right now that are, for the price, wow, they're really well done. I mean, they're G10, D2, ceramic ball bearing pivots, but doggone, I mean, they're really well made, well executed. Now, as you've probably heard in a video or two that I've already done on a couple of them, you're not going to get the weight relief in the liners. That's just not something you're going to get. And that's okay. It's okay with me, anyway. yeah, they're just fantastic. Well finished. Really, really nice knives. So that's definitely one of the newer brands out there that I'm really, really like. I mean, Artisan's always, I've pretty much been impressed with every Artisan I've seen. They're good knives. Really good knives. Best Tech is doing some really good things. I really have been impressed with most of those I've seen. Now, granted, I'm not going to like every single model. I mean, you know, it just doesn't fit me stylistically or whatever the case may be. And, you know, if it's a Tanto, I'm not big on Tantos, you know. But as far as the build quality of the knife, I won't argue with it. They've been really, really good. Oh, let's see. Kubi's doing some really good things with knives. I've been impressed with the ones I've seen and had a chance to look at. Civivi's doing good things. I mean, and I'm going to talk mostly about budget brands. I mean, that's just kind of what I do. Best Tech, I've seen both of, you know, and Artisan too, I guess. Both their premium and their budget, and they're all good. They really are. Civivi's good. Man, it's hard to beat Cold Steel's toughness. Cold Steel is just some really, really tough knives. So, let's see. What else we got? He asked for 6. I'm really trying to... I mean, I just like knives. If it's a good knife, I really don't care what brand it is, I guess. You know, I'm not stuck on a brand. I know a lot of people, you know, there's some people out there, I only buy case knives. I only buy WE knives. And that's cool. That's your thing. That's what you do. Right on. But, you know, if it's a really good knife, I've got some of the, you know, there's a smaller company, Yobo. You know, I've had a couple of their knives in, and I've had their Cayman for quite some time. And I just recently got the Silverback and the Meg. And between those two, the Meg, I really didn't care. I mean, the knife was okay, but the pocket clip, didn't care for the pocket clip. It just hit me all sorts of wrong. That wire clip hit me all sorts of wrong. It stood up too high. But on the flip side, and depending on when you see this video, I don't know about if I've released a Silverback video yet, but that, I do like that knife. So, you know, it's just, it's off and on. There'll be models you like and models I don't like. But I just love knives. That's if it's a knife that fits me well and I like it, I like it. Doesn't matter the brand to me. Ganzo, if it's a good knife, it's a good knife. Simple as that. But thanks, Amos. I got another question for Amos here. Do you collect gold and silver coins? You know, I really don't. I don't collect. I'm not a collector. I do have a few of the, you know, like all silver coins. Gold, no. Not gold at all. But I do have a few of the over, like, silver quarters and stuff like that. But do I collect them? No, I don't. But thank you, Amos. Thank you for those questions. That's awesome, buddy. And if you guys don't know Amos, OC Omega Shadow, he has a YouTube channel. He's an awesome dude. He follows all of us in the knife community. I mean, he has videos on knives and coins, and it's worth checking him out, guys. He's an awesome, awesome guy. Oh, BH. My buddy BH. How are you with a shotgun? Well, it's a shotgun. I hope I'm pretty good. No, I'm just... do you enjoy shooting clay pigeons? You know, I don't shoot clay that much. And, I mean, I used to... Before I joined, when I was back home in Nebraska, we used to shoot clay a bit. I don't out here because you have to be, pretty much have to be a member of a club or, you know somebody that basically shoots and has a decent amount of land that you can actually go out and shoot on, because I'm pretty well in a, you know, in a well-populated area. So, and we're having a real issue with one of the gun clubs here in this area. The gun club's been there forever. The gun club was there before anything else was there, but now people have built up around the gun club, and now they're trying to get the gun club shut down. So that's a real issue with one of our clubs here. So yeah, but no, I don't shoot clay very much. Unfortunately, I don't shoot as much as anything as much as I'd like to. What's your favorite type of shotgun? Side by side, over under, pump, auto? I love a pump. I love a pump shotgun. It's just that sound. The sound of a shotgun racking, there's absolutely no question in anyone's mind what that sound is. You hear that sound, you're like, yeah. It's just that sound. I love that sound. And we've talked about it a few times on my reviews. Even like the sound of a slide. Some of the knives, when you open and close them, they kind of have that sound. So definitely a pump shotgun for sure. Thank you, BH. That was an awesome question. And then last question here. Well, it's a couple of questions from my good buddy Rick Cairns. Question 1. What's your favorite knife in each category? Ooh, fixed blade, survival, folder. Ooh, favorite budget, traditional knife, Bushmaster excluded, right on. And favorite budget folder. Wow, okay. Fixed blade. My favorite fixed blade that I have right now is probably... Wow. Right now, it's probably my PHL Knives Little John. That's just such a cool little knife. And I can carry that. I carry it on my belt. I scout carry it on my belt. And it's actually got me into carrying fixed blades a little more because it's easily concealable. And if you know about me and fixed blades here, yeah. But that's probably my favorite one right now. Survival, ooh, yikes. I honestly can't really say that I have a true survival type fixed blade. For that, to answer that question, Rick, I would probably go, I'd probably go with my Ben Aiken Small Hunter because it's probably the most versatile fixed blade knife that I have. So I would probably have to go with that one in the survival category. Oh, my favorite folder right now? My goodness. Oh, how do I choose, man? There's so many. I will tell you, that new knife center, the Battle Worn Bug Out, that one's a nice little knife, man. The Bug Out's just a nice knife to begin with. But yeah, that one. My goodness, favorite folder. Man, that's a really, really hard question. I love my Keen. I love my Laconico Keen. So you know what? To be perfectly honest with you, that would probably be the top one. My Laconico Keen, my bronze Laconico Keen. That would probably be number one on my list right now. Right now. Today. That could change tomorrow. Oh, favorite budget traditional knife? I am loving the micarta work knife from Rough Rider. Love it, love it, love it. That thing is a rope cutting dream. I cut a lot of rope for work. Love it, for sure. That is probably my favorite budget folder, or budget traditional right now. Did I get them all? I think so. I think I got all those, Rick. Did the gardening thing come natural, or did you have a black thumb like me to start? Oh, I can get trees to grow, but flowers and vegetable gardening, I can't. Yeah. Did it come natural? Well, I guess it did kind of come natural. Growing up, we always had a garden. My mom always had flowers. My dad was kind of in charge of the garden for the most part. My mom was in charge of the flowers, and it was just something that we always did growing up. You know, helped in the garden, helped mom take care of her flowers. And one of my favorite flowers is hollyhocks. I didn't know my grandparents very well. I didn't know either one of my grandparents on my mom's side, but my grandparents on my dad's side, I only knew my grandfather, but I've seen many, many pictures of their house when it was in full glory, and they had hollyhocks. Absolutely every color under the rainbow, 6, 8, 9 feet tall, just gorgeous, gorgeous flowers. And that has been something that I've been trying to get started here. My mom had them, you know, at our house as well. And I finally got some to grow here. And I'm ecstatic about it because that's just one of my favorite flowers. Reminds me of, you know, it reminds me of family, reminds me of home, that whole, you know, comfort, being a kid. It reminds me of that. And everything else, I'll tell you what. You know what my theory on flowers is? I plant it. If it grows, great. If it doesn't, I'll plant something else. That's how I do it. That's my strategy. There's no rhyme or reason to it. I've gotten lucky on a lot of stuff, and that's pretty much, if it doesn't grow, okay, we'll do something else. That's pretty much it. But it really did come natural, and I find it's one of those things that if something's really bugging me and I just need some time, I go mess around and go weed the garden, and everything seems to be okay after that, you know? This is one of those things. Shooting does that too. If I go shooting, it makes everything okay. Two completely opposite ends of the spectrum, right? But it's true. It's just the way it is. But well, guys, that's all the questions I have this time. Oh my goodness, it's almost a half hour long. I'm so sorry. I do appreciate you hanging out with me. It's always fun to do these. Here again, if you have more questions, leave them down in the comments of this video, and I'll be happy to answer them at another time, guys. As always, I've been enjoying the sunshine. I greatly appreciate you spending some time with me today. Really sorry about these shadows, guys. That's kind of how the way it worked out. So I hope y'all have a fantastic rest of your week. And don't forget about Saturday Night Live. Saturday nights, 10 p.m. Pacific, normally. This weekend, I'm going to make sure I post this before this upcoming weekend. It would be October 19th. Saturday, October 19th. I'm doing an early version of Saturday Night Live. 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Pacific. That'd be 9 p.m. Eastern. I might end up missing some of my good friends in the UK, because that's probably pretty much right in the middle of the night for them. And Insta in South Africa, I might miss him. You know, sorry about that, guys. I do, but I've had a lot of requests to do an earlier version because, you know, some folks want to join in, so I'm going to try to do that and get some other people included in. So I greatly appreciate all of you that show up. It's such a fun time. This last edition, we had Dylan Mallory from Mallory Designs join us. That was awesome. It was fantastic. He answered questions. He got bombarded with questions, but he was very gracious and answered them, and that's just cool how that works out. But thank you, guys. Always appreciate it. Like, subscribe, leave me a comment, guys. You know I love talking to you. Put your questions down there as well. Until next time, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.